Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, you fantastic people wherever you are. Welcome to Chibi Reads Reddit. I'm your host, DoomedChibi99. Today's subreddit is r/I don't work here lady. So sit back, get cozy, grab a drink, and let's read. Positive Silly One. Hey there, haven't posted here before, but I wanted to share this story. So, I was with a friend at a bridal store. We were picking out a dress for her sister's wedding. I was wearing oversized black cargos, Wranglers, if you know, you know, and a little Nike tank top, most likely no bra under. We were in the dressing room, and my friend was trying on dresses. I spotted this girl struggling with her zipper, so I offered to zip it for her. She was appreciative. And though my friend was trying on different dresses, I helped her a few more times, zipping and unzipping. No big deal. Didn't inconvenience me. By the end, we had an idea of the dress my friend wanted, but not the exact dress, so we were heading out. As we walked towards the front doors, the same girl stopped me and asked where the bathrooms were located. I just kinda laughed and said, "Oh, I don't work here, but maybe they can help you?" And flagged down a stylist who did work there. Needless to say, she turned beet red. I laughed it off as it was no big deal and said something along the lines of, "I just like helping out." Overall, a wholesome end to a wholesome story. I still don't understand how she thought I worked there with what I was wearing, but I appreciate that she liked my style. And we have a top comment here by user Apprehensive Spite 589. It's nice to read the occasional story where the people involved are nice to each other. Thanks for sharing. I quite enjoyed reading your tale. And so did I, cause let's face it, a wholesome story on I don't work here lady, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. No, I don't work here, and my wife made that clear. Average height in my culture is around 5'5", but I'm a full foot taller at 6'5". Because of that, I often get asked for help to help reach things on high shelves at grocery stores. I don't mind helping out as long as it's light, like 2 to 3 kilograms is fine. Anything heavier, though, tends to bring down a mini avalanche of dust, which no one wants. The story takes place in 2022, shortly after my family moved into a new apartment near a massive wholesaler called Metro Cash and Carry. It's similar to Walmart, owned by a German company, now acquired by Reliance, and caters to business owners. Most of the smaller stores in the area get their stock from there, so it's a good place for us to shop in bulk. On this day, my wife and I split up to handle our shopping list faster. She was picking up oils, and I was gathering grains. I noticed a good deal on 1 kilogram packs of wheat that made them cheaper per kilo than the 5 kilogram packs. However, the 1 kilogram packs were almost out on the main shelf, so I reached up to the top shelf to pull some down. Just then, an old woman behind me politely asked if I could get 5 for her as well. I didn't mind, so I passed them to her, and she thanked me before moving on. I started pushing my cart towards the legumes section when I heard a loud, "Excuse me!" I thought someone was calling an employee, so I kept going. But then it came even louder. "Excuse me!" I turned around, and there she was, a Karen, waving me down like she was hailing a cab. I pointed myself confused. "You talking to me?" Karen snapped. "Yes! Can you please help me?" Without moving, I asked, "With what?" Karen pointed at a 5 kilogram pack of rice on the top shelf and asked if I could bring it down for her. I glanced at the heavy pack and, politely as I could, explained that it was a bit too heavy for me to grab safely and suggested she ask an actual employee. There were 2 nearby to help. Then I turned back to continue with my shopping. Not 5 seconds later, I felt a tug on my arm. Karen was now physically pulling me back towards the rice shelf. She kept yanking at my arm, insisting, "It's not that heavy, I'm in a hurry, just get it for me." For a moment, I just stood there, completely shocked, and honestly a little flustered. I may be big, but I'm also non-confrontational and tend to avoid scenes. So instead of arguing, I did the only thing I could think of. I pulled out my phone and called my wife. Now, my wife and I balance each other out perfectly. She's petite, much smaller than the average height, and she's also louder than a jet engine, if I had to pick an analogy. As soon as I said, "Hey, hon, could you come over here? A lady's giving me trouble," she was on her way. Within moments, my wife appeared, storming over with the intensity of a one-woman army. She glared at Karen, still gripping at my arm, and said, loud enough for half the store to hear, "Why are you touching my husband? He doesn't work here, and he's certainly not your personal assistant." Karen, caught off guard, stammered a few words, dropping my arm and taking a step back. My wife, still not fully briefed on the situation, asked, "So, what exactly did you want from my husband?" Karen, clearly flustered, mumbled something about just needing some help with getting the rice down. My wife, eyebrows raised, looked around, spotted an employee nearby, and said, "If you need help with rice, that's what these folks are here for. My husband doesn't work here." Then she made eye contact with one of the actual employees and gestured toward the rice, saying, "This lady needs help with the rice up there. Mind assisting her?" Without another word, the employee came over, and Karen slunk away toward the rice with him, still muttering under her breath. We still shop there, but we don't split up anymore. And we got a couple comments here. Well, only one comment by Final Fantasy XIV Pazudora. Reminds me of that meme that was like, "Quiet guys, why do you date loud, fiery women? Because someone needs to tell the waiter I didn't order mashed potatoes and it ain't going to be me." When in doubt, it's always the short ones. Me personally, if anyone messes with my man, I'm probably gonna go kicking for the kneecaps. But how can people not get that you don't work there? I mean, yeah, you're being helpful, but it might be, yeah, you're right, OP. It's a smart idea if you and your wife don't separate, because you need her around. What do you mean? Of course you work here. Recently, I went to my local Sephora to restock my skincare and had my most annoying "I don't work here" to date. I'm black, so people genuinely assume I work at any retail environment I make the mistake of entering. I'd just gotten off work and was wearing a navy blue pixie pants, a cream blouse, and a brown navy blue and cream plaid blazer. Also accompanying my outfit was a brown purse / laptop bag. I say this to demonstrate that nothing about my outfit screamed, "I work here." On my way in, I grabbed one of the baskets to hold the things I was picking up, and was about 6 products in when someone came up behind me and cleared their throat. I moved to the side because I assumed they were trying to get past me, but they instead cleared their throat again and said, "Excuse me, I've been waiting for help for the past 5 minutes." I turned to look at her and said, "Sorry?" And she responded with "I've been standing over there for 5 minutes trying to get your attention. I need to know if this product is in the back. There's none on the shelf." I told her I don't work for Sephora, nor have I ever worked for Sephora. And she responded with, "What do you mean? Of course you do. What are you even doing here if you don't even work here?" I asked her about how I was dressed, made her think that I actually worked there. And what I was doing here was shopping with the money I make from the job I have, that I got with my fancy schmancy college degree. She blinked at me a couple times, then asked me if I could go find an employee to help her. I just walked away. We have a comment here by Old Enough Tuba Kid. "Okay, so you don't work here, but can you go ahead and find someone who does and bring them back here for me?" Ugh, the audacity of this Karen. If someone says, "I don't work here," leave it at that. They don't know anybody at the store, and if they do, then they're still not going to help you out. I have a story about beans. I was at our local grocery the other morning after I got off work. I work night shift. I'm tired after 12 hours, sort of wandering around grabbing a random cart of needed stuff. I'm wearing earth brown cargo pants, a black fleece cap, and a green wool sweater. I don't look like any of the employees whatsoever. Okay. This older guy comes up to me with a cart and almost bumps into me. I apologize and go to move out of the way, but he stops me with a grunt.
Where are the green beans? He asks,
seeming a little and irritated.
I just need you to show me where the canned green beans are.
I immediately understand that he thinks I work here. This is my moment. I smile and reach back into a decade of customer service experience. Right this way, I tell him. I lead him to the canned foods aisle. I grab the beans he wants and load them into his cart, but I don't stop. I'm talking fast, telling him about the great deals on baked beans that we're having as I take can after can down and put them in his basket. I shove about 6 huge cans of baked beans into his groceries before I grab a couple cans of kidney beans. These are amazing, and they're a buy one, get one regular price, I say, which is true. He nods and just goes along with this. He never stops me. I don't want to exaggerate, but I bet I pulled at least 15 cans of random beans into this dude's cart. I finally stop and smile, and I watch as he wanders off to the checkout. He looks a little confused as they scan everything, but he doesn't stop the lady. They bag his stuff, and he pushes his cart out of the door. Now the proud owner of many cans of beans. Anyway, that's my story. Oh my god, we've got a couple of relative comments here. This first one is by Total Ad 5137. The title made me think of the old ladies with cans of beans scene in Bluey. It's such a funny episode. And Hot P 5888 replies, I slipped on my beans! How much do you want to bet that OP is part of Martin Pseudopants' Bean Boys Incorporated? Because, oh my god, all those beans. I can just picture Mart now. He'd be in bean heaven with that. But yeah, I don't know why he didn't stop you. Consistently mistaken for a Target employee. This is something odd that hasn't happened up until recently, but has happened 3 times now. I go into Target. I shop for a little bit and someone confuses me for someone who works there. I usually almost always dress in all black and wear a bit more formal attire, i.e. collar shirts, vests, etc. and goth jewelry. In my head, I'm an emo cowboy, but it seems like no one else is getting that, LMAO. It all started at the beginning of this year when I went into Target to buy a game on sale. I called for someone to come and unlock it for me, but when they came, they asked me if I already got the person who paged and had to break the news. At the time I was wearing a patterned shirt, still all black, but arguably my most casual outfit. The second time was at a different Target when I went to visit my mom. I was picking some stuff up for her and got asked where the bathrooms were. I'd never been to that location before, so I said, I don't know. To which the person looked at me puzzled and asked if I could ask someone then. I then said, I don't work here, and the usual awkward dialogue points were exchanged. She said I looked like a manager and assumed I worked there. I was wearing a black western shirt and sneakers at the time of this incident. Ugh. The third time happened just hours ago with my friends. I'd already told them about the last 2 incidents, but they thought I was capping. We were in the makeup aisles looking at nail polish when a woman asked me where the eye drops are. I just turned to look at my buddies with my most forlorn face and tell the woman, I don't work there. She apologized and said she thought I was the manager. And I hit her with a, you wouldn't believe how many times people have told that to me. I was wearing a plain button down, a star belt buckle with an upside down cross as my necklace. At this point, this is just making me question my fits. I don't know, man. I thought everyone associated Target workers with red shirts and khakis, but somehow I have completely missed the mark. I just don't know anymore. And we have a top comment here by Candid Ad 5642. Up your goth cowboy with some boots and a Stetson. An actual Trevor replies, goth cowboys should be safe everywhere. Except Hot Topic, in my opinion. Oh no, even at Hot Topic, emo cowboy needs to be safe everywhere. But yeah, how are people being this colorblind? I mean, how many times do you have to say, I don't work here? But yeah, the Stetson and the boots you might need so that way they can finally get the fact that you're not a manager at Target, you're not an employee for Target. And also you can add, where's that name tag that makes you think I work here? But yeah, emo cowboy. I like it. Looks like we've reached the end of today's video, but fret not, I'll be back tomorrow with more Reddit stories just for you. Want to get notified of the next video? Tap that bell icon. Want to subscribe? Tap the button. It's completely free. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, catch you later, my Chibi Dominators.